नमस्कार मंडळी, माय मराठी यूकेच्या माय टॉक सीझन 3 एपिसोड 6 मध्ये तुमचे सर्वांचे हार्दिक स्वागत. Today here we are with episode 6 of season 3, and this episode is brought to you by Pepper Spice at Harrow on Hill, powered by Kensington Spices. Co-founders are Vaibhav, Khandge and Nilesh Patole, and Ace Accounts and Tax Limited, Chartered Certified Accountants Milton, Kynes. It's also co-powered by Mumbai Maska restaurant Chingford and Western Rhine, Rivington Solicitors, London. It's supported by success coach Nilesh, UK's leading career business and leadership coach. So today we have with us our special guest Renuka Phadke. She is director and founder of VR Mortgage Solutions Limited, UK. नमस्कार रेणुका जी.
नमस्कार डॉक्टर इंगळे.
सो छान वाटतंय तुम्हाला भेटून इकडे आणि बऱ्याचशा मराठी प्रोग्राममध्ये भेटलो आणि आज माय टॉक सीझन 3च्या एपिसोड 6 मध्ये तुमचे स्वागत करताना खूप आनंद होत आहे.
धन्यवाद.
And as we are catering to our UK audience here, so we would like to continue like this with our talk.
Sure.
So as you know, this My Talk season 3, the theme is the same. Every journey is a story. So we would like to share your journey from Nagpur to UK and hereafter your progress. So how did you start from Nagpur and how did you begin?
Sure. I'm a very nervous talker to start with. But yes, so I'm born and brought up in Nagpur. Well, in a place near Nagpur called Ordnance Factory, Jawaharnagar, where I did my schooling from KG till 12th. And then I did my graduation in BSc Computer Science from Shivaji Science College, Nagpur. And after that, I moved to UK to do my master's in Computer Science from University of Sussex.
So when was that? When did you come to Sussex?
2003.
2003.
2003. That's when I came here. It was all because my parents wanted me to do computers, and hence I moved here to do computer science. But till that point as well, I was not sure what is it that I want to do in my career. But yes, there I was doing masters in computer science, and after my dissertation, I took up a job as a salesperson who is selling gas and electric at that point of time with Scottish and Southern Energy. And as I said that just to meet ends, I was doing this sales executive job. But life has something else in store for me. I was offered a job in a multinational company after my dissertation. But because I was more interested towards sales, and at that point of time I was awarded as the best sales executive. And during one of our sales appointment, I met a mortgage advisor who used to work in HSBC.
So you were in sales and you met a mortgage advisor.
Yeah, I used to knock doors to sell gas and electric.
Oh, okay, good.
So that's when I met this person who was a mortgage advisor in HSBC. And while we were having this conversation, he said, "Oh, you have done all this education and all. Why don't you come into UK banking?" Because in his words, UK banking is all nothing but the sales environment only. And because everyone in my family is from banking background, from my grandfather to my parents to my uncles to my auntie, everyone is in State Bank of India. That caught my eye, and I thought, okay, let me try coming into the banking industry. But not knowing what to do, and with mortgages, I have had no idea what mortgage is all about. Because you're very young, you don't know what loan concept is at that point of time. But my grandfather always used to tell me since I was little.
Sorry for interrupting this one, but like loan concept, we have in our mindset, a loan is not good.
Yes.
So that was the mindset.
That was the mindset. Yes.
So coming back to your grandfather, you said something.
When I was little, I used to walk with him a lot on whenever on my school holidays, and he used to give me nice little life tips. And one literally stuck to me is that a key to enduring success is having a strong foundation of your basics. And that's when I decided, okay, so if I want to be a mortgage advisor, there was an exam called Certificate in Mortgage Advice and Practice. But my aim is just not to pass that exam. I need to understand the basics of it. So I joined John Charcoal as an administrator, wherein I used to photocopy the application forms of the mortgage advisors
Okay.
or the mortgage brokers. But I was very
Focused to do
thorough
that.
and focused while I was
Okay.
photocopying. And that's why I started picking up, oh, the name is not correct, the payslip is not matching. And I started bringing it to the point. My compliance manager at that point of time, they like, oh, so she's very thorough. And she took me in as a compliance assistant. But again, it all started that I'm again behind the computers. And the reason why I left my computer science is because I don't want to be behind the computers. So I said to her that I want to be a mortgage advisor, and then I am ready now to do my exams. So at that point of time, my branch manager at John Charcoal, she said, you have 3 weeks to pass your exam. And if you pass through that exam, I will put you through the interview. So Monday to Friday, I used to study 18 hours.
Oh.
And have to clear the exams on Saturday. So 3 weeks, I cleared
So
my
just
exam
3
at the
weeks.
station.
Wow, it's real hard work here.
And I got selected in John Charcoal as a mortgage broker.
Wow.
And I was the top mortgage
So
advisor.
which year was that?
It was, so 2009 I joined Santander, so 2007. That's
Okay.
when I was with John Charcoal.
John. And then you went to Santander's after
Yes,
that.
and after
so
2
when
years.
was that?
Yeah, so 2 years later, I was headhunted for a mortgage advisor role in a bank with Santander, and I joined Santander in 2009. So early 2009, I joined Santander. Almost 10 years, I worked with Santander as a mortgage advisor. But then again, it became very stagnant, as in I have only one lender from which I'm advising my clients. And then I realized, no, I want to do something different, because the customers which I advised on their residential products, they're now coming back to me asking to invest. But in banking with Santander, as a branch-based mortgage advisor, you can't advise on buy-to-let at that point of time. So I said, okay, I want to do something different. And that's when some of my friends were working as mortgage brokers. I said, okay, so I think this is the opportunity for me to start my own company. And 2017 is when I formed VR Mortgage
So VR
Solutions
Mortgage
Limited.
Solutions. So
Yes.
it sounds good actually. That's what we are discussing. VR Mortgage Solutions Limited.
Yeah.
And we'll come to the technical part of it. But can you tell first thing about the name of VR Mortgage Solutions? How did it come up?
Yeah, so there's an interesting part to VR Mortgage Solutions. When we decided that, okay, I want to form this company, I'm actually an appointed representative of Home Loan Partnership Network, which takes care of my compliance. So we have to still give a company name. We were driving back and I said, okay, so VR, that's what I want people to know. And then V from my husband's initial and R from my initial. And
That's
how
interesting. That's good.
VR Mortgage Solutions.
But it
Limited
sounds
was
good.
formed.
VR Mortgage Solutions. What are you? Like VR Mortgage
VR Mortgage
Solutions.
Solutions.
So that's good one. So to the technical part, like you deal with all mortgages for residential, commercial and other things, individual companies and all, buying, selling, renting, everything.
Yes, so VR Mortgage Solutions Limited is authorized by Financial Conduct Authority and regulated by Prudential Regulation Authority, and we are an appointed representative of Home Loan Partnership Network, which take care of compliance, which make sure that the advice which I give to the customers is compliant and the documents which I obtain from them is compliant. We follow a very strict GDPR as well, that any information is not disclosed to anyone without prior consent from the customer.
Mm-hmm.
The only time that information is disclosed is when we are doing an agreement in principle or application. I deal with residential mortgages, buy-to-let mortgages, company buy-to-let mortgages, additional loans and remortgage. So that is also the protection. So once you have a mortgage, we make sure that you stay in that house.
So this started in which year you said?
2017, Jan 2017.
2017. Yeah, that's good. And I think I would like to share with our viewers that did we do a small presentation in Ompeg at 5 minutes presentation, a showcase? Was it in Maharashtra under London somewhere?
It was
Is that
a
correct?
gate crash.
Gate crash. Okay.
I attended because after I resigned from Santander and I opened my company, I have no business background. No one in my family is from business background. So I'm like, okay, sitting there not knowing where to start. A friend of mine said that there is an event of some institution called Ompeg in Maharashtra Mandal. And I'm like, okay, Sunday afternoon, not doing anything, let's go and attend it. So I just randomly went there to attend that event. but the speakers over there were so inspirational that I was really motivated, and I want to say that I want to go and talk.
Yeah.
So there was one gentleman standing over there. I just went over to them and asked, can I talk? And he said, have you registered? I said, no, but I'm really motivated. And he said, let me go and check. And he came back and he said, you have 2 minutes. And I said, okay. There was nothing for me to lose, or
Okay.
I have not even prepared. But that 2 minutes talk over there, and the response which I got from Ompeg was overwhelming. And that gentleman was Mr. Ravindra Gade.
Ravi Gade. Excellent. I think it's a good thing to know about Ompeg. So just
Yes.
would like to share with our viewers. Ompeg is Overseas Maharashtrian Professional and Entrepreneurs Group, and we all are part of that. And Ravi Gade is a founder member of that, and that's what Renuka was telling about. And definitely we'll be seeing him soon. So
Yes.
not to worry. But Ompeg also has given some award to you. What was that, and which year was that?
Oh yes, it was Fire in the Belly. And again, I will
So this is the Fire in the Belly, which you took 2 minutes from the show where you were not supposed to go, and then the fire was burning.
Yes, and I will encourage people who are coming into business, who want to start their own. Please join Ompeg, because it's a very supporting community. It will encourage you, it will motivate you. And the key to any business to success is honesty. You have to be honest in your efforts. You have to be honest with whatever you're doing. More importantly, you have to be honest with yourself. And Ompeg really nurtured that thing in you.
Excellent, excellent. Thank you so much for kind words for the Ompeg, because I'm a part of member as well. So the thing is about your future plans. What do you feel you're going to achieve in near future now?
I don't think much about future.
That's
I live
good.
in present.
Okay.
But yes, going forward, I would like everyone in UK, whenever they think about mortgage, they know where to go, and it's Renuka.
Absolutely, that's a nice one. So yeah, this episode, so like last episode and this episode onwards, we have started a new section here in My Talk, and that is about the questions from the audience. So I think we'll go for that section where we will ask you a few questions which have been from the audience about the mortgage, how to proceed, what are their like worries about. So if you can answer that, please.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we go with the questions from the audience section. And in this episode 6 of My Talk season 3, just to mention about the sponsors, this is brought to you by Pepper Spice, Harrow on Hill, powered by Kensington Spices, and Ace Accounts and Tax Limited, Chartered Certified Accountants, Milton Kynes. And is co-powered by Mumbai Maska Restaurant, Chingford and Western Rhine, and also Rivington Solicitors, London, supported by success coach Nilesh. So here we go for the question section. In this section, first and foremost, like we would like to ask you about general taxation. In this section, we would like to ask you about there are so many schemes going on in UK for the first time buyers. So what do you say about Help to Buy scheme?
Help to Buy, it's finished now, 31st of March.
Okay.
Yeah.
We didn't know
31st
that.
of-
Good thing we are here with you.
Yeah. 31st of March 2023 was the last date to complete on all the transactions.
Help from anyone, that means that when they are buying, if they are taking help from the parents, like
No.
because otherwise one person individual, if it's the first time buyer, he just graduated, he started a job and he wants to buy a house, but he will be giving 5%, but if he wants to buy a house and if he needs to get a mortgage of X amount and the bank says that your income is not that much, we need a collateral. In that situation, is it valid or not?
Yes, so there is a scheme called Joint Borrower Sole Proprietor, because
Joint
if
borrower sole proprietor. Okay.
So wherein we can have that individual along with their parents to
Okay.
boost the income, but on the title deeds it will be just that child's
Child's name.
Yeah. So
Okay.
that will save parents not to pay extra additional stamp duty.
Okay, the stamp duty benefit of first time buyer you will get.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good to know about this one. And the second one, as you mentioned about Ompeg, the gentleman who was there, who allowed you to speak, Ravi Gade. I told him that we are having a talk show today about My Talk. So on behalf of one of the audience, he is going to ask a question. Is it okay?
Yeah, he's my mentor as well, so he always push me.
Okay, here we go.
Hello, Namaskar, Dr. Ingle, and thanks for giving me this opportunity to ask the question. I have a question for Renuka Phadke. Renuka, how easy it is to transfer a property which is a buy-to-let property bought under a company name, so transfer that property from company to a individual or vice versa, from an individual into a company name. How easy it is, and what are the mortgage implications around that? Thanks.
Okay, so there are two questions in it. So one is if you have a property within the company and if you want to buy it out in the personal name, obviously when the property is in a company it's a different entity, even though you are the director, and now
Okay.
you are buying it from that entity, so there will be the stamp duty implication. And vice versa, if you own the property and if your company is buying it, again that will be classed as a normal purchase by the company from this individual. I don't know if I made myself clear, but technically you have to have a conversation with an accountant, because it makes no sense to buy the company which is already in the property which is already in the company, to buy it in personal name, unless obviously there are certain circumstances wherein you have to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so thank you. That's
Yeah.
a good one. So, answer to the question is, one point to be clear is that even if you are talking about mortgage, so you have to speak with the tax consultant, just like our sponsor Ace Accounts. So you can talk to them if you're dealing with anything complicated, or if you're worried about something, better to talk with the tax consultant. Is that correct?
Yes, if you are worried about what the tax implications will be, because my advice is limited to mortgage, method of repayment, product, and the term of the mortgage. My advice cannot go beyond that.
Okay,
So,
so-
if any tax implication question, then the accountant is the best person to deal with it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. So regarding the other mortgage is like two things. Is one is buy to rent, and the second part is rent to rent. That was about.
Yeah. So we have two terminologies here. We have buy to let and then let to buy. Ask let to buy, but buy to let, as the name suggests, you're buying the property to let it out, and let to buy is the existing property where you are living. You are going to rent that property out, and you are moving out of that property to buy another.
Okay.
So that terminology is let to buy, and buy to let, as the name says, buying the property to let it out.
So when you're buying to rent, then is it the deposit which changes? Like instead of 5%, 10%, how much is it? 25?
Yeah, so if you're buying the property to let it out, the minimum deposit required is 25%. However, there are certain lenders who may even consider with 20% deposit, but obviously the interest rates will change.
Okay.
And when you're letting your property to buy a new one, you need to have ideally 25% equity in that existing house,
Okay.
so that you can remortgage that property with a buy-to-let lender and you move out to a new residential lender. Should you not have enough equity in your existing property, then we can take a consent to let on the existing property and buy a mortgage on a new property.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
On that note, can
Yes.
I just add one more
Yes,
thing?
please.
People are very worried at this point of time whether they should go for fixed rate or they should go for a tracker rate, because there's so much uncertainty at the moment in the market. There are talks, there is a forecast that the base rate is going to come down by the end of the year or by next year. So whose mortgage is up for renewal, they're perplexed whether a
Yeah.
fixed rate is a good option or a tracker rate. I will always suggest this to my clients, that rather than looking into the outer circumstances, give a priority to your requirement, your
Absolutely.
needs,
Good point.
and based on that let's decide whether fixed rate is good or a tracker mortgage is a good option. Because whatever is happening, it's a forecast, and we can't
predict
can't-
forecast.
Yeah,
We can't comply, or we can't rely on that completely.
Yeah, so give priority to your needs, and then we can decide whether fixed rate is good for you or a tracker rate is a good option.
So, okay, thank you so much. It's not a straight solution for everything, but it can be tailor-made for each and every
Correct.
situation. Is
Yes.
that correct?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, and that's what I do when I have my one-to-one consultation with my clients. We'll talk them through, and then accordingly we'll recommend what is right for them.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Renuka ji, for talking with us on this My Talk show.
Thank
And
you.
we would like to just give this memento. आठवण भेटून मला ही.
धन्यवाद.